Hey everyone, I'm Brett, and welcome to Nightwood Guns. Today we are looking at my favorite everyday carry belts, the Core Essentials belts. And I'm going to be telling you why these belts are my favorite gun belts and everyday carry belts on the market. There are certainly a lot of great companies making belts out there, but this is my favorite out of all of them. Today I'm going to be showing off two of their models, their everyday concealed carry option, along with their duty, competition, and range belt. So be sure to stay tuned to see why these belts really impressed me, and why they're the only gun belts that I use anymore. I stopped using all my other belts once I found these. Now be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to give you some advice if you decide to pick up a Core Essentials belt that can just help you avoid some trouble and frustration if you decide to get them. Overall, it's a very easy belt to use, but I definitely have some advice to make your ownership go a little smoother. If you're new around here, I'm an author that wrote two epic short novels, great gun action in these books from a pro 2A author. So if you'd like to support me and support the channel, check out my books and leave reviews for them when you're done reading. That really helps a lot. And of course, thank you to the few patrons that I have over on Patreon. You're really making the difference in making these videos happen. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, the link is in the description below. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now, full disclosure, Core Essentials actually reached out to me and said they love my channel and they would love to send me a belt. What I'm not sure they knew or not is I was already a Core Essentials belt enjoyer, and I had purchased this belt for everyday carry with my own money and fell in love with it. So when they asked what belt they could send me, I asked for their Garrison range belt. So while Core did send me this belt, and I really appreciate it, I've been loving this belt, I had already given them my money and I fully support them as a consumer. So first up, let's talk about their everyday carry option. I believe this one on their website would be the X5. This is their Tier 1 concealed collaboration in multicam black. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that nowadays I'm only carrying full-size guns, and the way I'm doing that, one is a great holster and two is a great belt. So to give you a quick rundown, if you are unfamiliar with Core Essentials belts, it does use a ratcheting system here and has a little lever that you can pull, and you can see that tab locking into the ratchets. So just so you can see that inside system there, it's very easy to tighten this belt down, and then it locks in with that ratchet system. And then this little lever right here, you push that up to loosen up the belt. It is so easy and so convenient to adjust this belt on the fly. So if you need to sit down, or if you ate too much at dinner, or if you're putting in a bigger gun or a smaller gun inside the waistband, let's say you're changing from a SIG P320 over to a SIG P365, you can very easily just ratchet this thing down as much as you need. Now, what sets this ratchet system apart from other ratcheted belt offerings out there is how smooth the ratchet system is. When you want to loosen this up, you don't have to fight it at all. You just push that lever and it just is so smooth coming out of there. Some ratchet belts you have to hit buttons or pull buttons back, or they have like a magnet system on the ratchet, but this one is so intuitive, so easy, and so high quality that it's just very smooth in and out. You don't have to fight anything. So if you need to discreetly loosen your belt, it is effortless. If it's time to carpet bomb the crapper, it's very easy to just loosen this belt up or undo it completely so that you can drop your deuce. Are you an absolute stud muffin that's just fighting people off that want to get in your pants? Well, this, unless someone knows the secret code of the lever, you can fight them off with your own personal chastity belt. So if you're a person that believes that cosplay is not consent, don't worry, no one will be able to take advantage of you when you are LARPing at the range in full kit. But once someone knows that secret code, it's party time. Now, also compared to other belts out there, I really appreciate how sturdy their buckles are. I mean, these things are like bulletproof buckles. They're gonna hold up to pretty much anything. Now, the best thing about Core Essentials belts is they have a proprietary core inside the belt that allows it this little bit of flexibility for comfort and everyday carry, but it also allows it the stiffness. Like, you cannot crush or collapse this belt. So this belt will hold up anything that you would want to everyday carry, including a full-size gun with a weapon light, with a red dot on there that's so big that people make fun of it whenever you post it, along with a spare magazine. This comfortably carries this much weight for me every single day, to the point where I forget that I have it on. This belt is so efficient for everyday carry that if you are unholstering or reholstering, your belt stays on your body exactly where it needs to be. It stays in place so that you can efficiently and quickly deploy and reholster your everyday carry gun if so needed. This is hands down my favorite everyday carry belt, and I have been through a lot of them. Now, this is the Core Essentials Garrison Belt. This is a 1 3/4 inch belt that is designed for duty use, competition use, anything outside the waistband, at the range, full kit, whatever. This is your belt. Now, when they say on their website that this belt is not designed for concealed carry, they're not kidding. I wore this one day for concealed carry, and this belt is so stiff that it was grinding my hip bones when I was carrying inside the waistband. But outside the waistband, you can start stacking gear on this belt like Batman, and you're gonna be 100% good to go. This supports so much weight so effortlessly. And it has all of the same features that their everyday carry belt has. Now, I wanted to put the Garrison through its paces, so I loaded up my heaviest handgun in my heaviest holster, and I put on a two-handed greatsword and hit the range. Needless to say, no matter how much gear you stack on this thing, this Garrison belt is gonna hold it. If anybody needs a range belt, a duty belt, or a belt for competition, this is the one that I'm going to recommend. You could absolutely run this for concealed carry, just be aware it might not be very comfortable and it might give you that printing hula hoop look under your shirt. They have these belts marked at different inch intervals for different waist sizes, and essentially you chop it and then you stick it in the buckle and screw it down. It's very easy to do. Just make sure that you have a sharp pair of scissors or a really sharp and durable knife. But make sure you chop the belt bigger than you think that you could possibly need it. And then put it together. You don't have to put the screws in, but put it together, clamp it down, and try it. Once you chop this belt, there is no going back. One of the great things about a Core Essentials belt is that you don't have to worry about ordering the right size. However, that size is up to you. If you chop off too much, you're SOL. So chop it way bigger than you think that you're gonna need it and slowly move your way down. Now, I personally do not use the belt keepers that come with it to keep the flap down. I actually like to chop it so that it's in line right at the edge of one of my belt loops to keep the flap down. That's just a personal preference thing. Their keepers are fine, but I prefer to just have it resting under a belt loop, mostly because I'm lazy and I don't want to deal with the keeper. So start way bigger than you think that you're gonna need it, and then slowly work your way back because you only get one belt, so take your time and do it right. Make sure that it's the right size for you and your gear, and there is an appropriate amount or lack thereof of flap sticking out. And now my second piece of advice is some people might struggle with the buckle. Now, if you carry appendix, just a single holster off to the side, more at like the 2 o'clock area, you can definitely run it in the middle and run your gun right here. Obviously, if you're carrying behind the hip, the belt buckle goes right in the front too, and you're not gonna have any issues. However, if you're like me and you carry a sidecar style holster, most people are gonna run the buckle off to the side like this. That way their gun sits right in the middle and the buckle sits off to the side. But since I have a narrow waist and I don't have a lot of real estate on the front of my body, I actually found that this belt buckle was actually grinding on my hip bone when I was running it off to the side like that. So at first I was like, oh man, this belt's not gonna work for me, what a bummer. But then I decided to play around with different positions of the belt buckle and found that if I actually moved it behind my left hip, it was 100% comfortable and good to go. All I do is reach back and hit that lever, and it's really easy to adjust behind my hip. So my second piece of advice is don't be afraid to play around with the position of the buckle. Most people are gonna be okay with it up front or off to the side up front, but if that doesn't work for you, try moving that buckle around, rotate the belt, put it in a belt loop sooner or a belt loop later. You'll probably find a position where it's very comfortable. In conclusion, Core Essentials belts get the Nightwood Guns stamp of approval, and I would recommend them to anyone for concealed carry or outside the waistband carry. Belt, 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 belt. Nice! This is your reminder to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos from me, and leave a comment down below to help out with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for stopping by. It was great seeing ya. I'm Brett, and this was Nightwood Guns. Nightwood out.